Hello guys, welcome. This session is meant to take question and answer. So if you have question and answer, so we'll be waiting for others to join us. All right, wherever you're joining me from, I would like you to comment on the chat box. Let me know you're here with me. So today's session is just to take question and answer, especially regarding the free application week that is coming up at the University of Alabama. So the week, the application free week starts tomorrow, Monday to 22nd, that's the Friday of October. So if you have any question regarding your application, or you have any question regarding scholarship that you've wanted to ask, or you need clarification on, and you want real-time answers to that. So this is more like a clarity call where I give you answers, provide insight, and guide you on how to find answers to those pressing questions that you might have that you haven't found someone to answer them. So what you just need to do is to put them in the comment box there. I'll be taking them one after the other. But before we go into the details, before we start receiving questions from participants, I know if you have seen my recent post that I made recently about different scholarship opportunities at the University of Alabama. I believe you've seen that by now, but while we are waiting for others to join us, let me quickly show you what I'm talking about, right? So if you go to my YouTube channel here, okay. So there's this particular video. All right, this one in particular. I made this video recently on the different scholarship opportunities or funding opportunities at the University of Alabama. And a lot of people I was surprised that most people don't know that these fundings exist. All right, so I talk about how you can look out for the type of funding that is available for the program you're interested in, all right? So here, there are a couple of programs I mentioned in this video, all right? If you have gone through it, you have found out by now those programs, and there are a lot of other ones, right? Different programs of your interest. They have different type of funding for it. All right, so you can go through it and see what program you are interested in. Okay, so if you are looking at applying for University of Alabama, I know by now you have obtained the waiver code. All right, you have applied for the waiver code that will be sent out tomorrow. If you have not done that, probably you should be doing that now. All right. So if you've not done that, you should do that. I think you can still do that. But I expect that everyone has done that. Everyone on this call have obtained that code. Right. So with that code from tomorrow, so here is the link in case you still want to do it. So with that code from tomorrow, you can start to apply for, or you can start submitting your application from tomorrow. All right. So while I wait for your questions, I'll be here. Any question I get, I will attend to it. Okay. So I'm waiting for others to join. I think some people are learning it, but if you have questions related to scholarship application, related to applying to University of Alabama, free application week, this is the time to ask on the comment box here. All right, so while I wait for your questions, let me quickly inform others that we are live. Okay, regarding Chevening essays, right now, I have no time to review any essay, right? I have made a video on how you can write your essays. So if you want me to direct you to that video, let me get the video. I've made a video recently. I had a live, not a video, I have a live section with 3 Chevening scholars where we shared insights on how you can make a strong Chevening application, all right? So let me share that with you, okay? Where's the video? Okay. So this is the video. Let me share it with you. Okay, regarding the Chevening scholarship, you can go through this video that I just posted the link here. All right, the video explains everything you need to know, okay? So I'm not a Chevening scholar. I don't review Chevening essays basically. So if you can look out for Chevening scholars, there are lots of them on LinkedIn, on Twitter who can help you with that, okay? So I've posted that video there. Maybe if you have drafted your essay already, you can also use that video to fine tune it, all right? Okay. So if you go through those videos, the 3 scholars are invited there can help you to review your essays if you reach out to them. But I'm not going to tell you, go and reach out to this person. They have their own schedule. If they can help you, they will tell you. So if you go out to LinkedIn, search for Chevening scholars, you'll find tons of them. So reach out to them. If they have the time, they'll definitely assist you with that, okay? So now, let me see. What other question do I have here? So if you're applying to schools, Elizabeth, if you're applying to schools for fall 2022, you have to check what is the deadline for those schools. Usually, most schools' deadline, if you are going to apply for fall, is usually December, January, some early January, some December for international students. All right. So based on the deadline application timeline for those schools you are interested in applying for, that would give you an idea if writing your GRE by December is still feasible, right? So if you write your GRE, usually in December, let's say you write it December 1st, usually it takes maybe 2 weeks or 3 weeks for the result to come out. That's almost towards the end of December. So if the deadline for the school you're interested in is mid-December, so you see, you might not be able to meet up. So that is what you should be considering, all right? Okay. Another question here says, okay, Adekunle is asking, I have messaged supervisor, but yet to get a response. Should I go on with my application? So this is the thing, right? If you send an email to a supervisor, like a faculty, a professor, that's cold email, right? You send an email to a faculty, you're expecting a response from them, and they are not giving you a response. What you can do is to send a reminder, all right? You can send a reminder email probably 2 weeks after your first email. You can send a reminder to them, right, politely. And most time they might be busy. Most time maybe they don't want to reply you. So once you send a reminder and you wait, you didn't get a response, then you should move on, all right? So how this thing works most time is there are programs, like even here at the University of Alabama, there are some programs that you don't even need to send cold emails to any faculty, right? Because for the first 2 to 3 years of your program, you are not working with any specific faculty. You are doing a teaching assistantship, and you are working with different labs, trying to understand different research areas. And then maybe towards your 3rd to 4th year, you'll be linked with an advisor who will guide you through your PhD thesis, research, and everything. So most schools you can apply without even contacting a professor in the first place. All right. So cold emailing is good, it's advised, but first you need to understand that, oh, is it necessary for me to do that for the program of my interest? There are some programs that I don't need to do that. All right. So if your program does not require you to send cold emails, just go ahead and apply. And what really happens most time is departments will consider you for graduate assistantship. All right. So that's it. So another question I'm seeing here. Awais, your question is you want to apply to US Fulbright scholarship. So if you want to apply to US Fulbright scholarship, I believe they require you to submit your academic transcript. So first thing you need to do whenever you want to apply to any scholarship is to know what their requirements are, all right? So if the requirement is for you to submit a transcript and you don't have the transcript yet, that means you've not met one of the requirements. So if you can be able to meet the requirements, and from your question, you are still an undergrad, your 7th semester, you go into this last semester, then you might not have all the full requirement for that. But if transcript is not compulsory, then you can apply. But if that is compulsory, then you need to wait and finish your bachelor's so you can be able to apply with all your documents. All right. Okay. So I have a link. I just sent the link for the video. Someone is asking. Israel, this is the link for the Chevening scholarship essays. All right. So if you just go to the channel, click on let me show you again. So if you just go back to the channel, if you want to watch scholarship insight session, different sessions of scholarship insight, just come here. Okay. Just come under here. So this is the first session of scholarship insight in 60 minutes, right? So there are a lot of this. You can see the different sessions. The one with Bisola, the one with Sonia Jane, Akintola Olajide, Akintayo Olajide, Adamu, Samuel, Damilola Olisa Opeoluwa. So they are all here. Okay. You just come under my channel, go to playlist. If you go to playlist, you will see scholarship insight in 60 minutes. You can find all the videos there. And if you have any question, any other question, just feel free to ask. All right. Okay. So what's the next question? Okay. Then the question, keep asking your question. I'll be taking them one after the other, all right? Okay, good evening. Is there a way I can get a sample letter of recommendation? I have been writing for my professor, but I'm not satisfied with what I've written so far. So for letter of recommendation, I don't have a sample, basically, all right? So one thing about letter of recommendation is it's not just about you writing about yourself, okay? It's someone else vetting you for something, right? It is usually good to write, to look out for a recommender who is interested in writing something about you. You can provide them with basic information about yourself. Maybe your CV can even help them to know more about you. You can provide them summary of your academic plans, your future plans, your prospects, right? What you want to do in the future and all those stuff, information that will help them to construct a good recommendation letter for you. Since I've been, applying to scholarship, grad school, I've never for once written a recommendation letter myself to send to a professor. All I do is just reach out to them. I want you to help me with recommendation. In most cases, what they will just ask me to send to them is my CV. All right. So I have no idea of how that works, how to write for yourself to send to them. I don't know about that, but you can search online. Google is your best friend. Once you go to Google, for instance, just let's see recommendation. So recommendation letter for grad school. Maybe you can see a template that will work for you. All right. I've known Jim for 5 years, nothing, something like that. So there will be free templates there for you to check through. Most information you seek for are there online. Okay, like this one now, this is a sample. you know. So just check and see which one you can follow the template, but it has to be unique about you. So this is a sample of recommendation letter. Okay. So with that one, you can see tons of it there. Like there are more. There are more you can look at. Okay. So this is another one. So you just look out for what suits you and follow the template to draft yours. Okay. But my advice is always, when picking who your recommenders are going to be, make sure there are people who are really interested to invest time in writing a good recommendation letter for you. All right, someone you have a good relationship with, who knows you well enough to write something about you. So it's important also. But yeah, check Google if that becomes the case for templates. All right. Okay. So another question here is, okay, otherwise, that's fine. If they don't need the transcript and you can provide it when they need it, then why not go ahead and apply? There's no harm in doing that. So yeah, can do that, right? PhD or master's funded program for medical graduates. Of course, there is PhD or master funded programs. All you need to do is just to check, all right? The school of your interest. I did a video recently. Let me see the video. Let me go and check where that video is. Okay, like this video here is where I talk about how to search for schools with funding. All right. So here on this video, if you go to this video, let me put the link on here. So what's the name again? Ebuka. That's I've posted the link to that video. All right. So that's where I showed how you can search for programs with funding. And again, if you are looking at public health, other type of areas, masters in public health, PhD in public health, and all those stuff, their fundings are available for you. All right. And scholarship like Commonwealth Scholarship, Chevening Scholarship, if you are looking in that direction for for UK, of course, you can also get funding, scholarship to fund your master's in medical health or something. Okay. For US, they have funding. Just search. Once you search, you will find out that there is funding for almost every course you want to apply for. All right. Okay. Abatunde, you are asking that is it compulsory? It should be on letter-headed paper. Yeah, it's usually advised that your recommendation letter be printed on a letter-headed paper. All right, because that is another way to show that this is an official document. All right, so it's advised that they print it on a on a letter-headed paper. All right, most of the people that have written recommendation letter for me, they have a soft copy of the letter-headed paper. The professor, they have a soft copy of a letter-headed paper. What they need to do is just to put it in there. And most time, the schools that request for these letters, they request that your recommender send it directly to them, upload it directly by themselves. So it's okay that it is better for them to put it in a letter-headed paper. The soft copy it's easy just for them to edit, copy, paste, and save it as a PDF and just upload, so that they don't need to print first and then scan and all that. So it becomes easier, right? So Solomon, you are asking if I find about 3 or 4 professors who have the same research interest as mine, should I mention them in my SOP or I should mention one of them? You see, mentioning multiple professors in your SOP, looks like you don't know what direction you want to take, all right? So what I always, advise is you can mention 2 at max, right? So that it doesn't look like you are, because there's no way 3 professors in the same department we have the same area of interest, research interest. There will be some uniqueness. All right. So you have to be specific. You have to, it's better not to mention than to mention multiples. So be specific and state clearly what the intersection between your interest and their area of research. So that can help to make things clearer while they are reviewing your SS or your SOP, okay? So most time, what I always advise is, some professors, when you send them cold emails, they will tell you to, or if they respond, they will tell you, okay, no problem. You can apply, you can mention my name in your application. That means your SOP, you can mention their name. But mentioning the name doesn't, if the professor did not respond to your cold email, mentioning their name might not, make the difference. All right. So what really happened is this. If you are interested in that professor's work, you can send them a cold email. If they do not respond, you can mention them in your SOP. It's okay to mention them. But if you feel like, oh, maybe mentioning them can put you in a disadvantaged position, just leave it empty. All right. So what happened in most cases is some decision are made on a departmental level. And what I mean by departmental level is, if it's a graduate teaching assistantship, it is the department that awards it. So they don't even look at your research area. They just look at your CV, look at your SOP, look at your transcript, see the courses you have done, and then they will employ you based on the course they want you to teach when you arrive. Okay, so you don't necessarily need to mention any professor in your SOP, except if the professor say, okay, I'm willing to accept you, go ahead and apply, then mentioning them can be a good idea, right? So that is my advice on that. Is MSc at University of Alabama fully funded? When you are talking about MSc at University of Alabama, I need to be specific. Which program are you talking about? So the video I made on the different funding opportunities at University of Alabama, elaborates how this funding are awarded. So here, graduate program is called, PhD or master's. Both of them are regarded as graduate program. And most departments, especially STEM-based programs, they usually prioritize funding for PhD applicants, They usually prioritize funding for PhD applicants. So if you're applying for a PhD program, there will be, more priority for funding in that regard. But that doesn't mean that people who apply to MSc for certain program doesn't get funding, especially for arts and science, maybe language, non-STEM program, they're usually funding for master's applicants. But you have to check, all right? If you go through that video, there is a program specifically there. I don't know if you know the video I'm talking about. The video I'm talking about is this, where is it? This one here, all right? This video here. So they state there's a particular program, I can't remember now, that they state there that there's no funding for master's applicants. So that shows you that, okay, it's only for PhD that they have funding for. So I just pasted the link in the comment box. So you have to check to know. There are programs that have funding for MSc. There are some that doesn't give funding, even though it might not be stated there. But most time priority is given to PhD applicants. All right. What's the next question? So can I submit without uploading SOP and other documents? So when you read the information provided on that post, let me go back to my Twitter post. All right. So on this post here, where is it? This one. All right. So to redeem, you must submit your application and all supporting documents before 5 p.m. CDT on Friday, October the 22nd. So you must submit your application and all supporting documents. So that is a criteria. So it is expected that you submit all your documents along with your application before the end of the free application week. All right. I hope that answers your question. Okay, what is the next question here? Can you please guide me what I should start doing from now in order to apply? Please, I need your step-by-step guidance. I don't know what you mean by step-by-step guidance for which application. If it is for Fulbright, I don't know. You read the information. I don't know much about Fulbright scholarship. I've not applied for one before. So what you just need to do otherwise is to read the requirements. What do you need to write? What do you need to do? Follow that. If you go to YouTube also, you might search for Fulbright scholarship. You might get videos that can help you with that, but I don't have any information in that regard. So that is all I can say, okay? So I don't know anything about Fulbright. I have no information on that, okay? So for everyone watching and you are working on your application, I wish you the best. I encourage you to continue putting all the necessary efforts, right? So one thing about scholarship application is it can be overwhelming. Sometimes it might be discouraging, like especially if you have experienced multiple rejections in the past. You've applied, you didn't get it, and then you feel like, oh, seems this thing is not for me. But one thing I always advise is that when you are applying for scholarship, apply with the mindset that you want to advance your academic studies, like you are passionate about what you are doing. Because if you have another mindset, maybe just to find a way to travel out or something like that, that mindset will not help you to sit tight and put in the best effort necessary. All right? Because the mindset with which you are doing something indirectly reflects in the outcome or in the output that you have. All right. So put in your best, burn the midnight candle, put yourself under, that uncomfortable condition, if I would say that. And at the end of it, you will get the best result. That's what matters. So when you get the result that you desire, every other things, when you remember the effort you put in to get that result, it becomes a thing of joy, right? Because it's the result that, trumps every other thing, all right? So please don't lose hope. Keep applying. You will get it very soon, all right? Okay, another question. Okay. Joshua, if yes, GRA of course increases chances of getting funding. So what happened is that GRA is usually used when it comes to considering people for funding. That is usually the case, all right? So if there's a pool of applicants and they want to pick people that they want to give funding, so GRA is usually a criteria which is used to single out applicants. So yes, having a GRE, especially if you apply for STEM related programs, you can definitely need to write GRE. Okay, so if you are writing your GRE, look for the program the school you are interested in applying to. What is their deadline? Will you be able to meet their deadline? If not, then you need to apply for the next cycle. Because I can remember when I was doing my PhD, my master's in the UK, I wanted to apply for PhD that same year so that I can start immediately um, after my master's. But I found out that I need to write GRE, I need to write TOEFL. I couldn't meet up with the deadline, and I don't want to prepare, make a very poor preparation towards that. So what I did was I still wrote the GRE and TOEFL around December or thereabouts, but I didn't meet up with deadline of the school I wanted to apply to. And I didn't have to rush it because rushing it, I might make very poor applications. So I waited till the next year, all right? So if you can meet up, then you might decide that you will apply next year. So this time next year, you can start your application. Or if you find other scholarship that will be open where you don't need to submit GRE for US, maybe there's other scholarship that will be open in the UK. For instance, you can apply for that. And while doing your master's, say you apply for Commonwealth Scholarship. If you get that, while doing your master's, you can write for GRE or you can use your GRE to apply for US. Okay. So, Babatunde, the free application week does not discriminate your funding opportunities, discriminate applicant from funding. Okay, so the free application week is open to every applicant, and every applicant will be given equal consideration for funding. So whether you submit during free application week or you pay for the application fee, doesn't affect your chances of getting funding. All right. So what that simply means is that, there will be more people applying for that program you are also applying for. So the competition will increase, all right? But definitely, you still have the same chances of getting funding as every other person, all right? So there's no cause for alarm. Everything done here usually is based on merit. So if you merit it, you'll be given the funding, whether you apply with free application week code or you pay for the application fee, is the same thing, all right? All right, so Ebuka, you want to study journalism and creative media. I don't think that course requires GRE, but it is up to you to go and check, okay? So if you are looking at University of Alabama, go to the website, the Department of Communication Studies, I think. That's where they have journalism and creative media. This is a non-STEM course, so GRA might not be a requirement, maybe GMAT, I don't know, but I have people that have, admitted to this program without writing GRE or GMAT. So if you have looked at this video, Scholarship Insight in 60 Minutes with Bisola Miriam, Where's the video again? This one. Right, let me share the link with you. So this video, basically I've explained, this one I elaborated on, how she got into different program without writing GRE. So she's doing her master's currently in communication studies. So you can watch that video, get insight from her and utilize that, okay? What other question before start going? So guys, I'll be expecting more questions from you, but if we don't have more questions, we can. So if you are still here watching the video, just give this video a thumbs up. If you have not subscribed to the channel, please subscribe, recommend the channel to your friends, and share the videos with your friends and cohorts. All right. So we have about 15 minutes left. If you have any more questions, please feel free to ask questions. If I don't have the answer, I can direct you on where to get the answer, okay? So before we get more questions, as I wait for your questions, let me show you something. All right. So for those of you who are looking to apply to UK, you can see here, I did this video recently, 4 days ago, different scholarship you can apply to in the UK. If you want to study in the UK by next year, these are fully funded partial scholarships, okay? 10 of them. I've mentioned it here. I've given you information on where you can find them. If you watch the video, you have any question, ask under the comment box. That will guide you and give you more insight on that, okay? So I'll be here, and while I wait for other questions, Ebuka, I share the link with you on how you can search for programs if you are looking at the USA. I share the link in this comment box. But let me show you the video. If you didn't get that link, let me show you the video so you can search it for yourself, okay? So this is the video. Where is it? All right, this is the video here. How to search for graduate school program with funding, okay? If you check this video, I've explained the process of how you can search for programs, right? So when you go to the school website, you can always search, which program do they have, which funding. So this is the link again. So if you didn't get that, you can go to the web page and search for it yourself. Go to the channel and search for it yourself. All right. So guys, I hope I've been able to answer your questions. Babatunde, you're asking about basic point that need to be on the statement of purpose, okay? Okay, so let me share that video with you. Most questions I've answered them in my video, so I think it's better if I share them with you than just explaining it. So this is statement of purpose. Okay. Statement of purpose. That's the link. Let me know if you get the link. All right. If you didn't get it, you can always come and check it on the channel. All right. So basically, your statement of purpose is you talking about why you are applying to graduate school. All right. Elaborating on your past experience, past academic experience, talking about your future career plans, what you want to do after your your PhD, your motivation to do a PhD. So basically, I've explained that all in that video. Okay. All right. So what else? Any other question? So if you're on Twitter, you can go to Twitter. If you're on Twitter, if you are not following me on Twitter, this is my Twitter handle, Okafor_SC. I always use this channel also to share information. And if you come to my page here, if you want to join my Telegram channel, you can click here. And I've used this medium to share information related to graduate school. So after the free application week, I will remove this post from my pinned post and I will replace it with, let me show you with this. With this one. So under this one, I have all my threads on graduate school. See this one, this is graduate school. Research assistant and teaching assistant is different. I've explained it here, right? And if you check this one, I've also talked about how fundings are being considered in most schools in the US and different area of strength for scholarship application. Elaborated that you can check other different posts I've made about recommendation letter. I've talked about how you can get strong recommendation letter. For those that are asking about that, you can check that out. I also have a sample of my statement of purpose here. So if you want to use that, you can do that. And also I made a video using that same statement of purpose. You can check that out also. And this is a session I held with Beyond Gender platform. I talk about different scholarships you can apply to. All right, so there are a lot of tons of information under this thread, okay? So this will be on my pin post from next weekend, all right? So guys, let me see if there is any new question. Okay. Okay. All right, Ebuka, I'm glad that you got the information. Definitely, I'm glad you got the information you're looking for. So guys, it's been a pleasure, having you guys around, being able to answer some of your questions and shed light on different areas. Okay, so we have 10 more minutes left. So if there's any more question, feel free to ask. Okay. I'll be here to take them. So while I wait for the questions to come in, all right. Okay, so So Adekunle, you are saying that University of Alabama advice, is it on their webpage? Yes, if it's on their webpage, that is fine. I know there are some programs that will ask you to get a supervisor first before you be considered. And mostly they are research intense programs. Okay, so if that is the case, that means you need to send cold email to faculties to get their consent before you start applying to that program. All right, so if they advise you to do that, go ahead and reach out to professors in that faculties in that department. Okay, I think that's what it basically means. Research purpose. I don't know. I don't think there's any program as University of Alabama is concerned. I need you to write a research purpose. I don't know what you mean by research purpose, but if you have a publication, you should just include that in your application, your CV. You can talk about it in your SOP. One thing here is this: it's not compulsory that what you researched on as an undergrad is what you will do for your PhD. All right, it's mostly about the experience, right? What they want to see that you have research experience, you have research potentials. So the experience is what matters. If you have a research experience, you can always translate that to any other different research. Okay, research is about a procedure, right? If you have research experience in particular area, you can always use that and learn more to, to do research in another area. All right. So that shouldn't be an issue. Okay. So what other question do I have here? Idris, you're asking about your odds of getting admission in the University of Alabama. Well, if your programs require you to submit a GRE, or they say GRE is not compulsory, of course you can get an admission, you can get an offer of admission if you meet the basic requirements. But funding, I won't say, because if they can find someone else that have better application with GRE, they are more likely to give funding to the person first. So if there is 10 slots left and they are looking for more, they can consider those that don't have GRE. So if you're applying for a program that is research intensive or research-based programs, having the research experience, even without a publication, can be an advantage. Okay, so look out for those areas where you can strengthen your application. All right, depending on the type of program you're applying for. Okay, so that is it. That is where we'll be wrapping it up if there is no more questions. Thank you guys for your time here. And I hope you gain an insight in this. And please ensure you subscribe to the channel if you have not done that, and recommend the videos on this channel to your friends also. Okay. I recently helped, 10 applicants to the US with the application fee, support. And by God's grace, if such opportunity come up in the future, I will keep doing it as much as I can. So, but I wish you all the best. And in your application, put in your best effort, do all you can. Daniel, if you have a question, still have a few minutes left. I can still take your question, Daniel. And the good thing is that when you work for something, when you put in your best for something, and you get the reward at the end, you'll be happy. You'll be pleased with yourself that you've done your best. And if you did your best and hope maybe it didn't work out the way you wanted it to work out, that doesn't mean that you are not good enough, right? It just means that it wasn't meant for you, all right? So just keep on doing your best, and favor will always speak for you. Prayer, if you are a prayerful person, if you're a Christian, a Muslim, always pray, because there is nothing prayer cannot do, right? It is one thing to put in the best, put in your effort, but sometimes it's not only effort that brings results. There's a place of favor. Most time people that doesn't even put much effort get results that they didn't expect. That is where favor speaks. And I pray that favor speaks for you also. So put in your best, pray very well, and the result you are looking for will come. All right. Okay. So for I receive, most time I receive DMs on LinkedIn, maybe on Twitter also, but I might not be able to attend to them all. All right. I have a lot of stuff I do. I only create time to post, to share insights. But if you really want me to reply to your messages on LinkedIn or Twitter, please make it easier for me to do. Okay. And be specific. All right. Be specific. When you're sending message, just go straight to the question and make sure you've done your own background research. Don't come and ask questions like, how do I apply for scholarship in the US? I won't reply. Don't come and ask questions like, or maybe come, hi, how are you doing today? Just after saying that, just ask the question. Okay, I don't want to start answering, okay, I'm fine, how are you too, others? No, I don't have time to reply that. So it's just when you ask me the question, then I'll answer the question together with your greetings at once. So to save time, okay? I'm a transport engineering PhD student. I understand what optimization means. So if I can go to two places at the same time, why should I go to one and then come back and then start the second journey? So I like to optimize time, maximize profit and benefit. All right. So that is it. So be specific in your questions. And if it is a question I've answered in a post I made, asking me the same question might not bring any different answer to you. Okay. So just be specific with your questions. All right. So that is it. Okay, Daniel, you said Daniel, my advice is ensure that your recommender submits the recommendation letter during the week. So it was stated categorically on the post. Okay, if you check the post I made, I'm not graduate school. I just help them to publicize this information based on request. Under one of the posts is here, you can see, to redeem, you must submit your application and all supporting documents before this time. So all supporting documents include your recommendation letter, I believe, okay? So ensure your recommender submits your recommendation letter during the week, right? Be on their neck, let them submit it during the week, so you don't shoot yourself in the foot, okay? It might be that they can submit it afterward, but to be on a safer side, let them submit it during the week, all right? So with that, um, with that, we'll be wrapping it up here. So thank you everyone that joined the call. I wish you all the best in your application, and see you next time. We'll be having this type of call. And support this YouTube channel. Like this video if you are here, and share the contents with your friends. All right. Bye for now. Take care of yourself.